Sixth grade math with Mr. Anderson.
Hey there, sixth graders. Today we'll be talking about something called rates, or a rate. Now, what is a rate? Well, we were talking about ratios this week, right? So a rate is a ratio of two measurements that have different units. So here are a few examples. Let's say you drive 60 miles and you use 2 gallons of gas. So 60 miles to 2 gallons is your rate. Okay? Which means you're getting about, 30 miles per gallon? We'll talk about how we figure that out in a second. Another example is $30 for 4 pounds. So maybe you're buying steak and you buy 4 pounds, and so it's $30 per 4 pounds of steak. So those are examples of rates. And they come in very handy when we're buying things. A lot of you like to shop, right? And so this comes very handy to save money. Now, so this has nothing to do with money, but here is a real out-of-this-world example. The International Space Station orbits Earth at an average rate of 15 miles every 3 seconds. How long will it take the station to travel 150 miles? So think about that. In 3 seconds. This space station, right here, when people are living in here, by the way, right now, it's in outer space, right above Earth. In 3 seconds, it travels 15 miles. That means 1, 2, 3. In that time, the space station would have gone to Harmony and halfway back in 3 seconds. Okay? So it's going very fast. So what it's asking for here is this. We can write this as a ratio or a rate. So it goes 15 miles in 3 seconds. Okay, and the question's asking how long will it take the station to travel 150 miles? Okay, well, we can set up some equivalent ratios here, kind of like what we did yesterday. So this is miles and this is miles. I want to line those up. I want to make sure my miles are both lined up. They're both on top. Don't want to put on the bottom. You're going to get a much different answer. Okay? So I've got miles and miles. All right. So the question is, well, how do you go from 15 to 150? Well, what do you multiply by? Well, look, 15 is the same, 15 is the same. There's a 0 on the end, so I must be multiplying by 10, right? 15 times 10 is 150. And what I do to the top, I do to the bottom, right? So 3 times 10 is 30. So that means in 30 seconds, the space station will travel 150 miles. Now that is pretty fast, isn't it? Okay. Now there's a very important term that we need to know. Okay, one of your ixls will be on this. We're going to visit this again back in the spring. Okay, and it's called a unit rate. So a unit rate means this. A rate with a denominator of 1. Okay, I'll say it again. A rate with a denominator of 1. For instance, 30 miles per 1 gallon. That is a unit rate. Okay, because 1 is our denominator, right? And if I have, for instance, I have 90 miles, and I have 9 gallons of gas I use. Is this a unit rate? Well, the answer is no, right? But here's the cool thing. We can make it a unit rate. How do we do that, you say? Well, we said the denominator has to be 1. So it has to be 1 gallon here. Think about it. How do you go from 9 to 1? And we have to multiply or divide. In this case, we're dividing. So you divide by 9, right? 9 divided by 9 is 1. Once you do the top, once you do the bottom, you do to the top. So divide this one by 9. And 90 divided by 9 is 10. So that means you are getting 10 miles to the gallon. That is not a fuel-efficient car, is it? Okay, it's got to be some kind of pickup truck or something. Some old pickup truck. All right, so that is a unit rate. 1 on the bottom. Okay? Now, let's go back to this International Space Station. So the International Space Station orbits Earth at an average rate of 15 miles every 3 seconds. So I'm going to write this. Now notice when I write this, I put the labels in too. Okay? That way I don't get confused. So when you're doing your work, put in the labels. Okay? Now, we find this as a unit rate. What does that mean? That means a denominator of 1. 1 second. We want to know how fast this thing goes in 1 second. Okay? So how do you go from 3 to 1? Divide by 3. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5 miles. Okay? And now we know that it goes 5 miles in 1 second. Which tells me I can find an equivalent. Harmony is 10 miles away. How many seconds does that take? Well, that's times 2, right? Which means that's times 2. And 1 times 2 is 2. That means it could travel to Harmony in 2 seconds from Preston. Pretty cool. So once you find that unit rate, you can find a lot of things. You could find out, like, for instance, okay, change that back. Let's see. So, Rochester. Okay, let's say that's about, 35 miles, I'll say. I don't know for sure. Somebody can look it up later on the Google Maps or something. So, how many seconds would it take to go from Preston to Rochester? How do you go from 5 to 35? That's times 7. What you do to the top, you do to the bottom. Times 7. 7 seconds. Now that would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Get to Rochester in 7 seconds? I wish. Okay. So let's try this one. So if you don't have your whiteboards out, make sure you have them out right now, ready to go. Minneapolis is 120 miles from Preston. If it takes you 2 hours to drive there, what is your unit rate? Okay? So think about it. Miles and hours. So write down 120 miles in 2 hours. All right. Try to find the unit rate here. Okay? I'll pause it and push play when you have it. So unit rate means 1, right? How do you go from 2 to 1? Divide by 2. You do the bottom, you do the top. Okay? 120 divided by 2. You can't do that mentally. I could. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And tack on that 0. You might have to write it out like this. And as you see, you still get that. Some of you know the mental math. How many 2's fit into 0? 0. Subtract 0. So that means you are traveling. You can now know your speed. You're going 60 miles per hour. That's what that means. 60 miles per 1 hour. That is the unit rate. Okay? I'll set you up on this one. This one's kind of like IXL. Actually, it is from IXL. Find the unit rate. 18 slices from 3 cakes. All right, equals blank slices per cake. So how do we set that up? Well, we have 18. I'm going to put an S for slices. For 3, C for cakes. Okay? So a unit rate means what? 1 on the bottom, right? So 1 cake. Not cup, but cake. How many slices would you get out of one cake? Go ahead and figure that out quick. Pause it, and then push play when you have it. Now you go from 3 to 1. Divide by 3. You do the bottom. You do to the top. 18 divided by 3 would be 6 slices. That means for each cake you get 6 slices. And once you know how much slices are on one cake, you know how many cakes you need to buy for your big party, right? Woohoo! Next one, find the unit rate. 39 houses on 3 blocks equals blank houses per block. Per block, that means 1 block, right? All right, go ahead, find out what goes in that blank. Pause it, and then push play when you've got it. 39 houses on 3 blocks. You count. You want to figure out how many houses, that's the unknown, right? Houses per block. 1 block. Notice my blocks are on the bottom, houses are on top. Again, we're dividing by 3. Do the same here. Divide by 3. I can do that mentally, but I won't. Go on the side and divide. Bring down the 9. How many 3's fit into 9? Well, that's 3. Subtract 0. Aha! There are 13 houses on each block. Hope that's what you got. It's unit rate. 1 as a denominator. This one, 42 rooms on 3 floors. Okay, maybe this is a hotel. So how many rooms is that per floor? Go ahead and figure that out. The unit rate here. Did you label it? 42 rooms, 3 floors. And so we're looking for rooms per floor. We don't know the rooms per floor. That's 1 floor. Man, dividing by 3 a lot, it looks like today, doesn't it? Okay, I just must have picked out all of them dividing by 3 randomly. Alright, a little division here. So that means there are 14 rooms per floor. That is the unit rate. Okay? Alright. Now, real world stuff here. You buy steak. You buy 3 pounds. It costs 18 bucks. Now, is that a good deal? Well, it depends on what kind of steak you're getting, right? We'll call this top sirloin steak. So my question is, what's the unit rate? How much are you paying per pound of steak? Okay, so find the unit rate on this one. How much does 1 pound of steak cost? Oh man, I love those 3's, don't I? Okay, go ahead, figure it out. Pause it. Push play when you got it. Yeah, 3. I don't know what it is. So it costs $6 per pound of top sirloin steak. That's a pretty good deal. That'd be a buy for me. I recommend that deal. Okay, this one. $15 for 12 muffins. Find the unit rate. How much does 1 muffin cost? Oh, you must be thinking, what? But Mr. Anderson, we can't do that. We can't find that because that's dividing by 12. And that means I have to divide this by 12. And it doesn't go in evenly. And I have to say to you, you're right, it doesn't go in evenly. Money has cents, right? You have to find it to the nearest penny here. 15 divided by 12, you can do that. You're getting a decimal. Go ahead. See if you can figure that out. Push play when you got it. All right. No remainders here. How many 12s fit into 15? That's 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract 3. Put your decimal point in, a 0. Bring it downtown. How many 12s fit into 30? That is 2. 2 times 12 is 24. Subtract 6. Gosh, we got to keep bringing stuff down, don't we? How many 12s fit into 60? Well, that's 5. So that would be 60. Oh, yeah. Aha, you can do this. It is $1.25 per muffin. Don't forget, you know how to do this. Yeah, we did decimals like what? Probably about a month ago. A little bit over a month ago. Okay? And guess what? We'll be doing it again. So it'll be coming up here probably next chapter. Where's it this chapter? I don't remember. Okay. Now, you go to the store. And you're going to buy some popcorn. Okay? So it costs $3 for 12 ounces of popcorn. That's one buy. And the other one is $4 for 20 ounces. Well, which one's the better buy? Well, I do this all the time. I find the unit rate to see how much does it cost per ounce to see which one is the better buy. And most people say, well, the bigger one's always the better buy. Not necessarily, because sometimes the smaller one's on sale, and that could be a better deal, or it could be equal, or the big one still could be a better deal. Okay? So how are we going to do this? We have to find the unit rate of both. How much does it cost? 1 ounce. How much does it cost this one for 1 ounce? And once we do that, we can see which one's the better deal. How much does it cost for 1 ounce of popcorn? Okay? So if you haven't written this down, please do this. And see if you can solve it without my help. Okay? So now's the time to push pause and see how much it costs. How do you go from 12 to 1? Divide by 12. Same to the top. Divide by 12. $3 divided by 12. 12 does not fit into 3, does it? Decimal point 0 and decimal goes straight up. How many 12s fit into 30? Oh, that'd be 2, wouldn't it? 2 times 12 is 24. Subtract. You get 6. Ah, okay. It's kind of like last one, isn't it? How many 12s fit into 60? That's 5. So this one costs 25 cents per ounce. Okay? Now this one. Divide by 20, right? Do the same to the top. Divide by 20. So $4 divided by 20. How many 20s that fit into 4? Well, that's 0. You could put a 0 here. You don't have to. Put in a 0. How many 20s fit into 40? Oh, well, that's easy. That's just 2, right? 2 times 20 is 40. Subtract 0. We don't say it's 0.2 cents, right? We would say it'd be 20 cents. You put that 0, right? So it goes all the way to pennies to cents. So that is 20 cents per ounce. Okay, so that means for every ounce, if I compare these two, I'm saving 5 cents. So I'm going with the big one, right? $4 for 20 ounces of popcorn. That is the better buy. Okay? Unit rates help us figure out what's the better buy. And we'll be doing, like I said, we'll be doing a lot of that, more of that in the spring. Okay? Because this is the stuff that's really important to me because I go shopping, grocery shopping all the time. I want to get a good buy. I want to save money. Okay? You might think, well, that's 5 cents per ounce. That's not that much. Well, you can save a lot of money over a year. Those cents add up to dollars, and dollars adds up to hundreds of dollars. All right, so your next IXL is a lot like we did yesterday, really. Okay, we're using a rates to find a missing number here. It says type the missing number to complete the proportion. A proportion means they're equal. We'll get into more proportions tomorrow. When I'm back, woohoo! Yeah! So let's set this up. 14 books are, they're both, I'm going to have to write it out. Books come in 2 boxes. Okay. Equals, see the equal signs there, 7 books, this is why I'll label it so I know my books goes on top here, is blank boxes. Okay, so we look, how do you go from 14 to 7? You start with what you know. We know this one on this side, right? We know this one, so we start here. I'm going to draw my arrow to the next one. 14 to 7, we're dividing by 2, right? 14 divided by 2 is 7. Look at that, that's a unit rate, isn't it? Divide that by 2. 1 boxes. The answer is 1 boxes. Oh, come on, IXL, don't you know grammar? It's 1 box. Oh, IXL, I tell you. Mrs. Andrew would not be happy with your grammar right now. Okay, does that make sense how we did that? I hope so. So let's try this one. And you're going to see some bigger numbers like this on your IXL. So 34 apartments on 2 floors. Okay, equals 68 apartments on blank floors. Okay, here to here. How many 34s does it take to get to 68? On the side, I can start adding them up, right? Start by adding 2 of them. 8. Oh. So that's 2 34s, right? So that would be times 2. There's 2 of them. And what do I do to the top? I do to the bottom. Times 2. So that'd be 68 apartments on 4 floors. Is that making sense? How we did that? Okay. You got to set it up. This proportion here. All right, I'll have you try this one. Okay, so push pause. And when you have it, push play. 24 kilometers in 2 minutes equals 72 kilometers. Oh, I wonder if you're biking or something. In blank. Oh, no, you're not biking. In blank minutes. You must be driving. All right, go ahead. Here to here. Man, these are big numbers. Why big numbers? Because we're 6th graders. We can handle big numbers. Okay? So 24 times something. You can guess and check. Times 2, times 3, times 4, and see. Or you can just start adding 24s. 8. 48, not enough. Add another 24. Aha! How many 24s did I add? 1, 2, 3. So it's times 3. You don't believe me? 24 times 3. I'll show you. 72. Okay? Do the same to the bottom. Times 3. That's 6 minutes. I should put min for minutes. Okay? So 72 kilometers in 6 minutes. All right. Complete this proportion. Go ahead. Push play when you got it. 16 donuts. Oh! In 4 boxes. Okay. So if you want to buy just 2 boxes, how many donuts would that be? How do you go from 4 to 2? Oh well, that's not too bad. It's divided by 2. Same to the top. Divide by 2, and that is 8 donuts. Okay, 8 donuts in 2 boxes. All right. I think that's all you need to know to figure this out. Okay. If you have any questions, ask your teacher or send me an email. Okay. Thank you.